Hi everyone, it's Sally Estlin on Magic Mike Moments, and today I'm incredibly excited to sit down with Mary Barnett. So welcome, Mary, Mobile Mary.
Hi.
So
There's a whole
before,
story right there.
oh yeah, I can't wait to get into it. So before we do get down and dirty and into the trenches, let's just introduce you with a short little bio that you've got, so that we can get to know you a little bit more. So you're
Great.
known industry wide as Mobile Mary, as we just said, and you're a leading marketing expert, a best-selling author, a sought-after speaker, and founder of Another Brilliant Idea, which I just love the name of that. With over 35 years.
Everyone needs one, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's so true. You've got over 35 years of experience. So, you've got a bit of wisdom there, babe. And you're very passionate about helping business owners unlock unsustainable growth by equipping their teams with the tools, training, and confidence to execute brilliant marketing strategies. So, drawing from the theme of your book, Hello God, It's Me, Martha, a 31-day journal from overwhelmed to overjoyed, you encourage leaders to let go of the must do everything mentality. Oh, yeah, we all know that one, and focus on what truly matters: growth, leadership, and impact. And your approach ensures that marketing becomes a team's responsibility, empowering employees to take ownership while the boss focuses on scaling the business. Well, that makes a lot of sense. So, whether through traditional or all facets of digital media like social media, SEO, AI, oh, we can talk about that one, or bots, oh my gosh, you provide clear, actionable strategies that align with each business's unique needs and culture. With authenticity, enthusiasm, and grace, you help companies expand their reach and build genuine connections that drive meaningful results. Because when the team thrives, the business does too. You sound like an action chick. So, welcome, Mobile Mary.
I love it. I'm so sorry that bio is so long.
I know, but it's interesting because it's changing times and doing the AI and the bots, and it's staying ahead of the curve. Like particularly in marketing, it's just the trajectory is like this with AI now. So, whoa,
Right.
yeah, you've got to be in it to win it, right? And
Yeah. Yeah. And I actually just gave a talk about it. It was called AI and Social Media Magic. I literally said, I just want to tell everybody, AI is not here to replace you. And let
mm,
me repeat that for the kids in the back.
yeah,
AI is not here to replace you, right? It's to make you more efficient,
mm,
save you time, help you feel more creative and more empowered. Like it really does. And I know you're the self-empowerment specialist, obviously, a guru. But it's true. I think
yeah,
sometimes there is so much going. We were talking about this before we got started. There's so much going on in the world. There's so much noise
yeah, yeah,
that sometimes we can't hear ourselves think. So
mm,
one of the things I use AI for is just to clear my mind. I just have it's like a sounding board. So I'll be like, so, I'm thinking about this. Can you help me gain some clarity by, and I basically go off and like go down to these rabbit holes, and
yeah.
it just pulls me out because I've got one of those brains that just is all over the place all the time. So it really helps me focus and clarify, really. And a lot of stuff I never put out publicly. It's just for my own personal
Yeah.
um research and clarity on some things, and it's just very very helpful. And I have different names for my chatty my chatty Kathy, my chat GPT. So anyways, I know we're not starting on that yet, but
Yeah,
whatever. So thank you for I just want to say thank you for having me on your show. We used to be on the same network, and so it's so much fun just being you and me together.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was just saying before that you're looking even younger than last time we met. So yeah, you're
You're my new
doing
best
some,
friend. What's
yeah,
up with
well, you're
that?
doing something right. And I think part of it is it's just having a positive state of mind. So these shows are all about talking about you and your journey. And so, over your life so far, would you like to share some of the lessons learned or some of the journeys that you've had, and the challenges and how you overcame them? Like what's been some pivotal times in your life?
Oh my goodness. Well, it's how much time do you have? No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to bore anybody either, but I have been in
You're never
business.
boring.
I've been in business 35 years. It was
Yep.
in last December, so this December will be 36, and I'm only 37. So pause for applause or laughter. Um, and pivotal times in my life. I mean, I think everybody, especially as a woman, like there's so many things that go on in our life that we deal with, we need
Mm,
to overcome, we need to roll with.
yeah.
Some things we need to let go. I actually keep this little mantra on my desk. It says, let go, let God.
Love that.
because there's so many things that we hang on to that aren't necessary. They don't empower us to go to the next level of our growth or whatever. We just like, it's like baggage we drag with us from our childhood. And I'm now at an age where, I'm like, whatever. Like I don't, it's like, and I'm just not as caught up in the little things. And
Yeah.
I think that I wish I could go back and tell my younger self, like, it's okay. It's all going to work out. It's all going
Yeah.
to work out. And so a couple big pivotal things were I was told I have had cancer 3 different times,
Whoa.
and the Lord has cured me. So it took the last 2 and 3, which were last summer. I was told I had, well, let's see, in 2008, I was told I had uterus cancer. And so they put a giant 12-inch incision in my belly and realized I didn't have cancer, praise God. And then fast forward to this summer, they thought I had rectal cancer, which is the sexiest organ, by the way. Yeah. If you ever mention that to anyone, they visually go to it, right? Like, what's her name? Who was in Three's Company, who had anal cancer. And you're like, oh my God, you can't unsee that in your head. Like, oh, wow. How did that happen? Right? Yikes. Anyways, but they went in laparoscopically and there was nothing there. Like we literally saw a large orange size tumor in my body. And praise God, like they went in laparoscopically, took pictures all over, and they're like, oh, I guess it was something else. I said, well, maybe God's just showing off. Like he healed me in 2008. Maybe he just did it again just for funsies. And they're
Yeah.
like, no. I'm like, whatever. That's what I believe. You can believe what you want to believe, doctor. Anyways, but because of that, and I also had melanoma on my arm. So I got a cool scar from that too. He inspired me. You mentioned my book, which I have
Yeah.
behind me, but it's right here. I had this idea was planted in me 5 years earlier. And I literally, in fact, I was just at a conference and when I was speaking, the one I spoke about with AI and social media, I said, I actually made a poster to promote this book in 2018 and I hadn't written it yet. But as a marketer, I think, oh, I'm going to do a little market research. I'm going to stick it up on my booth and see if people comment on it, whatever. And so I guess I didn't have confetti and a parade thrown in my honor. So I thought, and I put it on the back burner. Well, God kept knocking me like, hey, man, it's time. So he actually gave me an excuse to sit down and finish this book
Wow.
by giving me two more scares. Not that God would do that. I'm just joking. But it is because, as we talked about when we were off, we women have the silly thought that we must do everything.
Yeah.
If it's going to get done, we have to do it ourselves.
Mm.
It's better if we do it ourselves. So we don't have to explain it because it takes too much time to explain it. So we just do it ourselves. Like, and then, oh, we have to volunteer for this and that and this. And oh my gosh. Like, and I am a stereotypical type A, speaking of anal, like, retentive freak. And I'm always that girl who's like, oh, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. They say give somebody busy something and then they'll always get
Yeah.
it done, whatever.
Yeah.
And I used to have to get pregnant to get off of steering committees and boards, right? I'd be like, oh, I'm pregnant. I guess I have to drop off 5 boards of directors. Like, because I just don't, I'm going to focus on my baby, and then I have the baby and then I start saying yes and whatever. So this book, it's titled, Hello, God, It's Me, Martha, and my name is Mary.
Yeah.
Right there. There's a story in the Bible, if you're familiar, of a sisters, and I am named after the big guy's mom. So
Right.
the Mary, right? But this Mary is another Mary. They were Jesus' best friends. And Mary was the sister in the kitchen getting all the shiz done.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Martha was, but Mary was the one sitting, hanging out with her bestie, having her best life, resting, finding joy, like doing all the things, right?
Yeah.
And Martha was kind of bitchy and said, hey, man, to Jesus, again, I'm paraphrasing, tell Mary to get her butt in the kitchen. We're throwing a party here. What
Yeah.
the heck? Like,
Yeah.
and Jesus, of course, said, well, Mary actually chose the better thing. So he literally over and over again in the Bible, he's telling us, rest.
Yeah.
Don't be anxious.
Yeah.
Let go. Let me, I'm He does tell us to go, right? But he will give us the strength, right? Anyways, so I thought, you know what? I probably should have been named Martha, not Mary. And so I'm basically saying, hello, God, it is me, Martha. And it's a 31-day journey from overwhelmed to overjoyed. So I made this, speaking of AI, I made all the characters, all the doodles in here with AI.
Oh, do
Look
you
at
want to
this one.
share a couple? Yeah.
Yeah. So here's,
Way.
and
Wow.
so I have like the, I don't know if you can see this. Am I
Yeah,
angling
it
it
looks like
correctly?
Superwoman, right? Because that's how the women
Yes.
are, you know?
Yeah, so it's a mom, and so the title of this one is Am I the only one that feels this way? So I have like a little verse, and then I have like an insight into the verse, how it pertains to being overwhelmed and getting over that, and then a little journal prompt, and then because God wants us the best for us always, so
Yeah,
living in gratitude, as you know, is so powerful. So I
yeah,
have a little things. What are you grateful for today? And then also because I am a Martha, I like to get shiz done. So I put a little checklist of things that are good for us. So I drank water today. So it's very simple to,
yeah,
do. I moved my body today because again, God wants us to feel better. I encouraged a friend today because, right, rising tides lifts all boats.
yeah.
And
Accountability.
so,
Yep.
and then I share this image to glorify God. So I made it like a doodle. So as you're meditating over your journal entry,
Yeah,
you could be coloring, which is really good for the brain. Creativity is really good
yeah.
about unlocking, you're an expert at that. So I did
Right.
that. And I thought if people take a picture of that and send it to a friend, like if it kind of touched them that day and they're going through something, it could encourage a friend to feel, it says, be strong and courageous, for the Lord your God goes with you. So I thought that would be kind of a cool thing to share with a friend, but I have to show you my favorite one.
It's so
Okay.
creative. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah. And again, it was AI. So it's like, I can't take credit for it. Anyways, but look how fun this one is.
Oh my gosh, that just screams fun. That gives me goosebumps because it's a little bit of like it brings you joy because everyone can relate. Like it looks like you smiling. I
Yeah.
put that up
Yeah.
for three of you.
I actually love it. In fact, it was funny because I was going to put this on the cover,
Yeah,
and the feedback I got from my little mini research of, asking on Facebook.
yeah, yeah.
That's my research. People are like, well, you're only going to attract old white women. And I'm like, well, I am an old white woman. But so I asked AI to give me more diverse pictures. So I
Yeah,
have people from every ethnicity and age in
yeah.
here. So people
Ticking all the
feel
boxes. Yeah,
seen.
yeah,
Yeah. But anyways, the whole point is that at the end of the book, you hopefully will learn how to let go of things that aren't serving you,
yeah.
how to pick your best yes, because we have to say, I mean,
Love that.
let's be honest, if there weren't Marthas in the world, nothing would get done,
Yeah,
right? Can't all be Marys hanging out, like sitting on the beach, watching the beautiful penguins that you just showed me, right? You need to balance it. So we
mm.
want to be more like Mary, not me, but that book I'm referencing.
Yeah, yeah. I love it. I just love
Yeah.
everything about that, Mary. So it's just
Yeah.
you're right, particularly at this time in our lives, but in the world, people need to surrender and let go. So I love that you have that prompt every day: let go, let God,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
is just giving it up to your God, whatever your higher source is, and it's giving
Sure.
me goosebumps because people are
Mhm.
burnt out, like they are, and
Yeah.
they just need more balance in their life and just let go and be more of the Marthas and just
Right. And I
chill
think
pill, right? Just
right,
back.
exactly. And I think
Yeah.
we all like there's obviously there's like 31 chapters, a little whatever, it's just a two-page spread. But I realized that like we all have this weird drive to be like Pinterest perfect. Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, my child's birthday parties have to be the perfect theme, and our
Yeah.
house has to be perfectly decorated, and we have to have the perfect husband and the perfect wife, perfect
Yeah.
children, and the perfect vacation or whatever. Oh my God, no, like we
Yeah.
don't have to
Yeah.
be. And we have to understand that we are enough
Yeah.
as we are. Like we are actually literally made in God's image. And so we are creators. So like you
Yeah.
are the epitome of a creator, Sally.
Yeah. Well,
You're
we
always
both
coming
are.
up. Oh my
Every
gosh. No, I
day, both
mean,
of us.
you physically like have products, like you're
Yeah.
creating products, right? And
Yeah.
so, and again, I know I'm a believer. I'm not trying to shove this down anybody's throat, but I believe that because he's the creator and he made us in an image, thus we are creators. So
Yeah.
just creating every day, even if it's just creating your best taco salad,
Yeah. I was just about to say,
right?
yeah.
it doesn't have to be anything monumental. I think we all
Yeah.
think we have, if we're not curing cancer, we suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not true. That is not true. We are to be who we are and designed to be and be the best version of ourselves. And
So,
also we're not perfect and we're never going to get perfect. So it's
yeah.
always that journey that they're striving for. So I'm sorry.
Well,
I get off. This has been my TED talk. I will step down.
but joy, right, is an acronym, the journey of yours. You've got joy behind you, right? And it's so true that we don't need to be, be labeled as the cancer curist or whatever, because every day we are the master creators if we choose to step into that energy. And it's about letting go and just going with the flow and trusting that energy. So we're on the same page, exactly on the same page. And
I love it. And what did you say the acronym for joy was? Journey of yours?
yeah, the journey of yours. Yeah.
I've
So
never heard that
having
before.
joy as you travel along in your journey in life, right? So
I love that. That is so
yeah.
cool. I've never heard that. I put that up a couple Christmases ago. I got it as, a decoration.
Yeah.
Um, and I loved it so much. And I always strive to bring joy to not only myself, but mostly like to my clients, my kids,
Yeah.
my community, because when you are filled with joy, life is great. Like
Oh, it
and
makes
even
your
if it's
soul
if it's
sing.
a,
Yeah.
right. And even if it's a crappy day, if you find a little bit of joy, like a weed in a crack of a sidewalk when you're going for a walk, it might have a little flower on it. Like, oh,
Oh my
that's so
gosh.
sweet.
Particularly now, and this is what I've been talking about the last couple of weeks, is finding the fun in your days, because we're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time, and it's the little things like turning up the tunes when you're in the shower and having a bit of a sing in the
Little
shower,
dance
or
party.
a
Yeah.
little dance while you're making your dinner, making your tacos, right? So it's finding that joy in your days, because it's part of your journey, right? And it's about enjoying the moments. It's not about, as we always say, it's not the destination, it's the journey along. So we're so
That's
on the
true.
same page. Now this leads into something which I'm really excited to hear what your superpower is. So why do you think people are drawn to you? What's your essence? What's your magic? Your superpower, your superhero?
Oh my goodness.
What's your cape?
Well, I can't even remember. I think I filled out something for you to tell you what it was. I'm trying to think of what the heck was it?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I've got it here. So
um,
it's about inspiring teams to unlock their full
oh
potential and
yes,
achieve
yes, yes,
results.
yes. I was trying to think of where we were going on that. Because the thing is that as a superpower, I feel like I'm a really good mom. Like I've got these three incredible humans that I've raised that, well, we never finish raising, let's be honest. They're in their 20s.
Work in progress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's never an end goal,
Yeah.
I remember watching a movie, I think it was called Parenthood with Steve Martin years
Oh yeah.
ago,
Yeah.
years
Yeah.
ago.
Very
And I
cool.
remember his dad, his dad, Jason Bate or whatever his name was, he was a bad dad.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he said, well, there's never an end goal. You don't hit the ball and run through as
Yeah.
a victor. There's never an end goal as being a parent anyways, but it's so true. But I feel like that is a superpower. I also really love relationships. Like I really treasure,
Mm.
and I'm very proud to I have friends from kindergarten,
Yeah.
friends that I've kept up through, elementary school, my neighborhood, college, jobs, like through the years, because I truly treasure those relationships and our memories and those
Yeah.
connections. Like, you have a friend who you haven't seen in 10 years, but the minute you get on the phone, like no time has
You
passed.
just pick it up, right? From where you left off. So yeah.
Right.
I
And I
love
think
that. That
people,
consistency too.
yeah, exactly. And it's like when you have those, and it's possible to create that. It doesn't have to be a childhood friend.
Yeah.
It's when you pour into others and ask them what are they about? Like what is it that makes them tick and what's important to them? And when you understand that about each other,
Yeah.
you might see something in a store that you're like, oh my God, and you take a picture and you text it to your friend, like thinking about you. Like those little things
Yeah.
are, people realize that they are seen and heard and valued,
Yeah.
and you'll never be able to get rid of those friends because they love you too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And so
Yeah.
I'm
On the
very
same
honored.
level, right? Like-minded people. And it's just
Exactly.
it's just a natural, joining of two energies that are on the same page. It's just so
Yeah.
powerful, so powerful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. But what you're saying about the teams is that in the last, like I said, I've been in business for 35 years. We started off in more traditional marketing, obviously, before the interwebs.
Yeah.
Back we started, I started the business in 1988. probably
Whoa.
before lots of your listeners were even a twinkle in your daddy's eye.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I couldn't find my butt with two hands, but I started a business. So that was awesome at 24. And then 20 years we did traditional. And then so we did a lot of events and promotions. We did like trade shows and association meetings and
Yeah.
um, lots of different things. And we were working with Kawasaki in 2007. You've heard of them, they make motorcycles
Yeah. Yeah.
and a variety of other
Motorcycles. Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Yep. And we used to do product launches and service awards and employee celebrations and all that kind of stuff. So I remember we were sitting, and you're talking about pivotal times in our lives. So I remember sitting with them after a big director, like a dealer meeting,
Yeah.
and I'll have to admit there were a few drinks involved. We they were complaining, and I realized I am really close up to the screen. I probably should pull back a little bit. I'm like right on you, right like this. Okay. Yeah. Um, they were complaining that their dealers were complaining to them that they
Yeah.
weren't doing enough to drive traffic to their dealerships. And I said, well, aren't they the ones who sell your bikes? Well, yeah, but they're whining about blah, blah. I said, well, isn't it your best interest to help them promote their store? Like, isn't that a good thing for you? And they're like, yeah, but a few bourbons in, you're like, wow. And I said, well, I was reading this article. I said, you talk about direct mail, you talk about this, I said, but your customers are literally mobile. Like they are on the bikes they bought from you or in a
Yeah.
competitors that you want them to buy your bike. I said, they're literally mobile. They're not at home waiting for direct mail. They're not, they might see a bulletin, a billboard, but they're like, but wait, we're using that new marketing thing called email. Have you heard? Yes, I've heard of it. It
Right.
was so new, like nobody was emailing, and everybody mostly had flip phones, but the iPhone had just come out that year, 2007. It was not everybody
Oh,
had an internet smartphone, whatever.
yeah.
But I said, well, what about marketing them mobily, like doing some kind of mobile marketing? And they're like, what? I said, I was reading this great article. There's this little company who's created this software that allows you to collect mobile numbers and text them deals, like specials or whatever.
Wow.
They're like,
Yeah.
what? And I'm like, yeah, it was like a gas station. I said, I think it'd be great, whatever. They're like, I said, I bet I could figure it out and like help you with that. And they're like, okay, well, it's really intriguing, but you have to convince our ad agency. I'm like, you're the boss, like you're
Yeah.
Kawasaki, like tell them that's what you want. Anyway, so it took 2 years to basically create a product that didn't exist because they wanted to tell me I was wrong the whole time. And I'm a baby of 6 kids. You don't tell me I
Yeah.
can't do something
Yeah. Yeah.
or I'm
Yeah.
going to fight you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
don't tell me I can't do something or I'm going to
Yeah.
fight harder.
Yeah.
So every time their agency would say, well, you can't collect their name or you can't collect their favorite model or their color or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, we can. And I called my engineer. Okay, we have to figure out how to collect their name and collect the favorite. So
Yeah.
literally in 2009, we launched our
Amazing.
software called Brilliant Mobile. And that's why I'm called MobileMary, is
Ah,
that I had a radio show. That's why I said it's a story for later. So all I talked about, because we created the software, was mobile marketing, mobile, mobile, mobile. So my radio producer said, well, you should be called MobileMary because all you talk about is mobile marketing. And I was like, oh, I love the alliteration. I
love
love
that.
it.
Love that.
So people now ask me if I'm a notary republic or notary, public notary, whatever, mobile notary, or they've asked the chief of police in town asked me with all seriousness before this was legal in California if I delivered marijuana. And I was like, what? He's like, Mobile Mary, like Mary Jane, like Mary. I'm like, no, I don't deliver pot. Like, what are you talking about? I said, and two, I wouldn't tell you. You're the chief of police. Like, what are you talking about? Anyways, so it's been a kind of a joke. Anyways, so we
Praise
launched
God.
Brilliant Mobile in
Yeah.
2009,
Yeah.
and the name just kind of stuck. So,
Oh, I love
so
that.
that was a pivotal time. So we help with the military, tell the Marines what to eat in the mess hall. We built an app for the airlines, U.S. Air Force and the Marines to take orders mobily while they're in the air, so their food will be ready for them when they get in the base. We help like
God.
nonprofits for fundraising, like they collect and communicate with that. retail stores, restaurants. We do all that with the text marketing software. So
Oh, I
yeah, it's kind
never
of
knew
fun.
that. That's amazing. That is,
Yeah.
look, oh, I could chat to you for hours. Yeah, it's like
I'm sorry, I'm probably
amazing.
rambling, or I don't want to run out of
No,
time
no,
if you had
all
something
good.
else to tell you.
Yeah, yeah. No, only because I have to cut it within a certain time.
Of
So
course.
what's the biggest issue facing your clients? Just moving on. So what do you
Oh,
think?
sure. Well, in the last probably 5 or so years ago, I've kind of gone back to my passion,
Mm,
which is really being more, as I wrote here, marketing advisor.
yeah,
So because I've been in business so long, I've pretty much have done such a wide variety, help such a wide variety of clients. I usually use my expertise to help them kind of see the gaps in their business.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so a lot of companies with teams will hire me to come in and kind of be like a one client actually said, "Would you be offended if I used the word mother hen?" And I was like, no, no, no. That's fine, but I probably won't put it on a marketing thing. But anyways, but yeah, so I basically like come around their little, and it could be just a team of one or two, but
Yeah,
it's usually like when bigger corporations, they might have, 20 people. And I
yeah,
basically just help them create their strategy, hold
yeah,
them accountable for it, give them like insights and inspiration for new ways of thinking or doing. Like there's, giving them, way back in the dark ages in the 1980s, we did this. Have you ever thought, so I give them some kind of redirects. I then also encourage them and motivate them, because a lot of times these are younger people, because of course
yeah,
everyone who's over 50 thinks anyone under 20 knows everything to do with technology,
yeah,
which
yeah,
makes me laugh. I'm like, no, that's just how your brain is wired.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
And so
yeah,
they're like, we'll just give everything to my 14-year-old granddaughter and everybody. And
yeah,
I'm like, oh my God. No. So anyway, so a lot of them are young. They're coming, maybe they're still in high school, they're coming out of college, or they
yeah,
might be somebody who is in a different industry and they're now coming back into the workforce, and they don't know what they don't know. There's no shame
yeah,
in that,
yeah,
but they just
yeah,
need a little guidance. So what I do is I come alongside them, encourage them to be like, oh my gosh, what you're doing in this area is awesome.
yeah,
Keep doing more of that. But in this area, how about we tweak this? Maybe we say, well, your SEO isn't really doing great, so let's fix that. Or, oh, here's, maybe you need some automation, or maybe you just need these different things. So I have all different things that we do, but it brings me so much joy, Sally. Like
yeah.
I get off these phone calls and I think I should be paying them, because I get off these calls and I am flying because I'm so excited about all the new ideas and things that they're inspired with. And then they put everything in action. They come back the next week and they're like, oh my gosh, we tried this and this worked. And I tried this, but this, I'm like, let's just tweak it. There's nothing wrong. Like you
Right.
don't want to,
Yeah.
you need to do different things, see what sticks. Anyways, so I actually am working on a course that I can actually help some of the younger teams to
Yeah.
kind of get all the basics taken care of.
Yeah.
And then once they got all the basics taken care of, then I can come back in and say, all right, cool. Now that you have like all your Google stuff set up and all your website stuff set and all that stuff,
Yeah.
whatever. Now let's make sure that we're doing things like in the 3D world, right? Like things in their community.
Yeah.
And I know this is going to sound really weird, but one of my favorite verticals that I'm working with right now is the funeral industry.
Right. Well, that's a big industry.
Yeah, right. Death and taxes. But I'm just saying is all of you are like, really? I'm like, yeah, like one of my favorite clients right now, he has 3 funeral homes.
Yeah.
We have a live stream that we do twice a month called Dialogues About Death. And I know it sounds weird, but it's not weird to me because I've had so much death in my life. It's now we talk about putting the fun in funeral. But
Yeah.
what's cool is I am helping funeral homes realize that they don't have to be all doom and gloom, because everyone deals with this. They just need to be more relatable. They need to be
Yeah.
somebody who can answer people's questions. But I think they're angels on earth because they're literally there in the most vulnerable time in someone's life when they've lost someone they
Yeah.
cherish.
Yeah.
And yeah, so anyways, so I am kind of an out of the box thinker or whatever, but I just find that there's industries that aren't being well taken care of, and that's
Yeah.
one of them. And
Yeah.
I just feel like if I can share a little extra love with them, I am honored to do so.
I
So
just, yeah, I think that's so needed. My godmother died recently and went to her funeral.
oh,
And I no, I mean, and it's just a natural part of life, right? But her
right.
son put on this funky funeral and it wasn't kitsch or anything. It was actually really nice. And it was so
That's
nice
awesome.
and we just, everybody embraced it, all ages, from the grandkids right through to the oldies with my parents. So
Right.
no,
Right.
it's a big, yeah, there's a big gap in the market there for that. So
Right. And I think people need to understand that it's okay to grieve in your own way. And
yeah,
I think there's been always so much like, well, you have to do this, right? And people don't know how to deal with it. Even that maybe they're uncomfortable with it. So
yeah,
they don't know. And so sometimes they don't do anything. And then they wish they did later. And then all the different things you can do. But I think education is so key. It is say it's okay. Like, some of the fun, it sounds weird to say, I've been to so many fun funerals because
yeah,
they're like, listen, my mom lived this amazing life
yeah,
and
yeah,
she wanted us to celebrate the
yeah,
the gifts that she left behind and her legacy that continues on. And they all wore pink or her favorite sports team jerseys, or they all, they have like little anyways, I could go on and on about that, but
yeah,
it's just so neat to be able to pour into um, companies, teams that the boss doesn't want to deal with it. They're working on growth, revenue, profits,
yeah,
but they know their marketing is an integral part of that,
yeah,
but they don't want to deal with it. They just want someone to help them be better
yeah.
and get better results and all that stuff. So I just get so excited when I get to do that.
I just love that. Yeah, injecting some fun into funerals. Like there was nothing better when we were at the one, just having a big old ABBA ache, from laughing so hard, getting a six pack from some of the stories, right? And growing up, and because her kids were like kind of naughty when we were growing up and gave her hell, and it was just like, yeah, just talking about that. But so moving on, what do you reckon would be three top tips to help these people that are, as you said, you come in and help them fill the gaps, because that's what sort of their biggest issue is. So what would be some
Sure.
of your top tips?
Sure. How much time do we have? Because I can go through. I have three that are just really fast.
Yeah, 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 just do the fast ones, that'll be good.
Okay, cool. So the three things when you asked, I actually had to sit and think about it because like, oh, what are three tips that I help
Yeah, yeah,
people navigate? So the first one was empowering your team with training and trust.
yeah.
So again, you really have to invest in your team because
Mm.
they're in the essence, it doesn't matter if it's just the marketing team, it could be your sales team, it could be your finance team. When you set them up for success, they have more of a pride of ownership in your company,
Yeah,
knowing that you
yeah,
believe in them enough to invest in some skill training or some time to reevaluate of how they're doing things and be applauded for what they do right and encouraged in ways maybe they're doing something that needs to be done better. So really empowering your team with that is
mm.
amazing. The second one is making marketing fun and authentic. So anytime, I think we talked about, and then I'll just say the third one, which is tailor strategies to fit, not force. So, and making marketing fun. The things, I don't know about you, but when I see something funny on social media, or
Yeah,
if I get something funny by email, I forward it to my friends because oh my God, this is hilarious.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah,
And so people get so caught up and tense and overwhelmed with everything has to be perfect. It has to look this way, but it's actually the most authentic and funny
yeah.
stuff that gets shared. And so, this is one example of the funeral marketing that we did. So that was something kind of funny. So my client actually texted me a picture that he had taken a picture of his own TV where the local news, we're having a heat wave in the area. And
Right.
on his sign out in front of his business, it had the temperature of 107 degrees.
Oh,
I
yeah,
live on in the summer, I'm on the face of the sun. Anyway, so he took a picture of it said 107, but it had his logo, it was his sign, right? On the ABC News, which is a big deal. So he says, oh my gosh, look what happened, whatever. And I said, okay, can I be a little irreverent with this? So I made a post on social that said, please stay cool and hydrate. We don't want to see you prematurely.
yeah,
And I posted that, right? Because we don't want to see you or work with you prematurely or help you, whatever. So it's something
yeah,
about premature.
yeah.
Anyways, oh my God, that post went viral.
Oh my
Everybody in the
God.
area thought it was absolutely hysterical. Now there were some people who were like, ew, what do you do?
They'll all be
But it's
always have
true. If they didn't
ones. Yeah,
hydrate, if they didn't stay cool and hydrate, if they're a certain age, they would have died. So
yeah,
he's like, I don't want to, oh, yes, I want to see you prematurely. And it was like silly and goofy, but it got
yeah,
such a reaction because people shared it, is my point. So anytime that you can, oh, and this is something else I want to turn around for you, Sally, because we were talking about this before we started
Yeah.
filming, is that we were talking about, engagement and how engagement
Yeah.
is down with everybody, whatever. And I
Yeah.
was encouraging you to be very vulnerable with why you started your business
Yeah.
and how you, that kind of that guttural, like, can you tell me really quick, like not that quick, you can go as long as you want, it's your show. Tell me why you started doing what you do.
Yeah, because it was just overcoming the hurt in my heart. At the end of the day, all the people I work with are strong, capable people because that's who I relate to. And you can do anything, right? Overcome anything. But the thing, my Achilles heel is my kids. And so to overcome, separation is not easy. And I don't think you've been down that path. It's pretty tricky. And when you start getting that emptiness in the house where there's no noise, it's just horrific. And so I started to tunnel into work. And then I found I was healing myself by, becoming more consciously aware of myself and why we
Mm,
tick. And what made me feel better was just understanding myself better. And then I thought, so, I have this saying, hurt people, but healed people heal people. So I was
right,
healing myself so that I could help other people heal. And the greatest healing gifts, I believe, and with coaching and whatever, are the people who have lived that experience because they can relate that and help other people as well because they understand is that, I'm an empowered empath. It's putting yourself in other people's shoes, particularly when you've gone down that path. And it's pretty hard, right? So
right, right.
when you
And so,
feel, go on.
no, keep going.
I was just going to say, when you feel your purpose is to be a mum and to be there and drive the kids and do this and that, and then all of a sudden they're not there, it's just like, oh my gosh, you got to redefine your purpose. And I think it's not just about being a single mum, it's about in life, once your kids leave the nest, then what? I see this all the time. And there's a lot of the women that I work with is redefining their purpose as you hit this sort of 50s, 60s age in life because it is different, as we said before. When you're a mum, it's not about there's a certain date and then it's done, right? The kids are gone. They're always there. You're always a mum, but you're not so much hands-on. So then you have
Right.
time to redefine yourself and where you're going and finding that joy that you have behind you, right? Finding that joy in your in
Or the
your
joy
day.
that's in front of you.
Yeah, exactly. As you're
Right,
driving the car down the path, it's just like, oh my God, where's my joy today? So it used to be this, and it's not that you're discounting it. It's just that the kids have got their own lives, their own journeys. And so, you know, back on the track, where am I going and what's bringing me joy today? So, yeah, that's,
right. Well, something you said that I think is really important. You did this because you found a void when you weren't hands on every day with your kids, and you
yeah.
wanted to provide something that would make you feel better. But also by doing what you're doing, you're actually creating a legacy
Mm,
for your children to see you modeling behavior of them to be able to make themselves also empowered, right? So
mm,
you're not just doing it for yourself and you're doing it for your clients, obviously,
mm.
but just think about that. They're now watching you. I mean, our kids are always watching us, right?
Oh man,
and
yes, the best judges.
and
Yeah.
as and the kids, the age that your kids are at, my kids are at, they really love to help. I don't know, consult us on what things we're doing wrong. And it's amazing that we were able to tie our shoes before we had them. It's amazing, right? That we were able to get
Amazing.
along and
Yeah.
right. So we are so grateful for their help in helping us with everything that they do. And I'm being very sarcastic. I'm sorry. But I think it's true. It's like in whatever is going on in your life, you have to find the way to not only feel empowered in what you're doing now or finding ways. And it may be, for you, obviously, you found your coaching, you have your products and all that stuff. Other people, their empowerment might come from helping in their community,
Yeah,
right? Volunteering
exactly.
for a
Yeah.
charity, helping other people's children with something. Like everybody has a purpose that they're made for and the gifts that they are
Mm.
given. I think we all have different. In fact, I used to fight this. I think I am a fine cook. I don't say I'm a good cook. I'm a fine cook. The food will not kill my family. It provides sustenance. It tastes pretty good, whatever. But my husband says, God gave us all gifts, right? And he says, and your gift, and he's standing in the kitchen saying this, is not in here. This is not your gift.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
your
yeah.
gift could be sitting across the counter with a glass of wine, watching me as I
Yeah, yeah.
prepare,
I love
cook
that.
for you. And I used to feel like as a woman that I wasn't good enough as a woman to be able to, because I wasn't the favorite cook.
Yeah.
Like the kids love my husband's food and mine. I'm a little bit more experimental, I guess. Whatever. I think it's fantastic, but whatever. No, I'm not bitter at all. No, I'm just kidding. But it took me a long time to recognize that
Yeah.
it's okay if I'm not a good cook.
Yeah.
And wow, what a gift that he's willing to make food for me.
Oh, you were
Right.
absolutely blessed. Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm just saying is I think
Yeah.
we fight so hard to fit into the box that we think that we're supposed
Correct.
to be in.
Correct.
What the heck is wrong with us? Like, why do we fight so hard to be something that maybe we weren't designed to do? And then we literally, again, have to let go of
Yeah.
those predetermined of where we think we need to fit in and explore the possibilities of the things that could be around the next corner. And if we let go of the baggage, it lightens us up to be able to take advantage of a new opportunity or a new adventure.
Exactly. I was going to say it all just comes back to how we started talking about surrendering and letting go. And we all have
Right.
our own superpowers, which is what we started talking about before. And that leads me up, just as we're winding up, just only because I've got to get the recording under the hour because otherwise I can't post it on some of the streams. But
Of course.
you know, how would you like to be remembered? We were talking about legacy, and I thought, oh, that's a nice way to tie it up. How would you like to be remembered? What legacy would you like to leave?
Oh my gosh. That's a big question. Wow. Well, I want to be remembered as a
It's got to have some fun in there. It's got to have
you
some
stumped
fun.
me. Well, I want to be
Never happened.
I know, for me to be speechless. What? I mean, I just want to be remembered as someone who, one, glorified God in everything I do, because I really feel that He gave me these amazing gifts to share.
Yep.
But I want to be remembered as a good friend, someone who took the time to listen and be there in times of need. That I was a good mom. I hope to be a good wife. I've been trying for 37 years.
Congratulations. That's great.
My husband takes very good care of me, and I don't think I take as good care of him. He's such a good guy. But I think that I have like a number of books in me. I want to get those out, but I mean, there's so many things, right? But I think I like to know that that I did the work that I was given to do and that I accomplished it well.
Yeah, fantastic. I love that. Oh, Mary, that's just beautiful. So what a way to finish. So how can people reach out to you? It's Mary Barnett.
Well, my website is my business name is Another Brilliant Idea, because as we said, everyone needs another brilliant idea.
I love that.
So it's anotherbrilliantidea.com. So they can reach out, and I actually have like we didn't even talk about bots, but I have a little bot on the website. So you can actually ask it any question. And I have trained my little bot, my brilliant bot, I call him, to answer for you. So if you want to set up a free discovery call with me to talk about, if you have a team, just ask, can I set an appointment with Mary? And a little thing will come up and you can set an appointment and get on my calendar. If you have a team and need help with guidance and in clarity with, this mother hen, I would love to do that. Plus, and hopefully I have some more books coming out too. So hopefully that'll all be on my website.
Watch this space. Hey, you are definitely a funster, Mary. I have absolutely loved and cherished the time spent with you today, because this is all about getting to know you a little bit better, sharing your story, and what a story you've got. But you're so ahead of the curve, and now working with the AI, and as you said, it's integrating, it's not replacing us. So it's working with it for good, not evil, right? You were such a joy. You really are a joy, and it's no coincidence you have that behind you, right? Because you can just feel the energy, right? You bring it across the screen, and it's just so beautiful. So I'm very grateful to have spent this time with you. So thank you.
I'm grateful as well. Thank you so much for having me on your show, and hello to all those beautiful Australians, which I hope to come visit you sometime soon.
Woo-hoo! Yeah, absolutely. Come down to penguins at the fairy penguin parade sometime at Phillip Island. We were talking about that earlier. But anyway, let's just wind this up so I get it under the time. So thank you so much, Mary,
Yes.
for being a guest on Magic Mike Moments, and look forward to catching up with you again shortly down the track. So see you later.
Oh,
Bye.
such a pleasure. Thank you, Sally.